Not related to the royals, Sussex's PR new accusation is just moaning for moaning's sake. So the PR news said, disabled veterans are frustrated that senior royals are shunning the Invictus Games amid row with Harry and Meghan. Buckingham Palace looks petty by saying more about the Highland Games, and ill will should not be held against competitors. Oh my goodness, is anybody surprised though? So the excuse given was this. Earlier this month, King Charles attended the Highland Games, an event which was a firm favorite of his late mother, Queen Elizabeth II, with the Duchess of Cornwall. They were joined by Anne, Princess Royal, and her husband Sir Timothy Lawrence at the Games, which have been a part of Scotland's culture for hundreds of years. But no such appearances have been made in Dusseldorf, Germany, where the Invictus Games are being held. And then this journalist quotes an anonymous UK media strategist saying, "It's ironic Buckingham Palace has had more to say about the Highland Games than the Invictus Games, despite the honorary military roles they hold. In doing so, the palace ends up looking mean-spirited and petty." Okay, so I had to look into who even was giving this news. Well, the journalist is named Rhiannon James, and she often reports positively about Meghan and Harry. So who could the anonymous expert be? Could it be from Meghan and Harry themselves, maybe? I hope they named those sources, or else I'm going to believe that it's just a publicity stunt by the representatives of Meghan and Harry. I simply don't believe that any British forces would ever speak against the boss. I mean, come on. As usual, this is just the Sussex PR team trying to stir the pot. I didn't see any top political party figures or members of other countries' royalty there waving their teams on, right? So why are they picking on British royalty for not showing up? It's absurd, isn't it? Now, it seems like this journalist also forgot that in 2014, the then Prince Charles, Duchess of Cornwall, and Prince William attended the opening ceremony of the first ever Invictus Games that was held in London. She's also ignoring the fact that in the early stages of Invictus, William and Catherine were integral. Another thing is that obviously at this point, these are Harry's games. It's really his charity, and these are the games that he helped to establish. Royals don't typically attend them anyway, maybe the ones that were held in England a few years ago, but otherwise no. This is just moaning for the sake of moaning. The royal family understands very well that Harry supports the Invictus Games, so they're politely not trying to take that away from him. They're giving him a chance to shine. They're trying to help him. My goodness. I mean, that's called being polite. Just who is trying to stir the pot here. That is what it looks like to me. And reportedly, palace sources are saying that members of the royal family never involve themselves in each other's professional endeavors anyway. For example, they would never expect Harry to come out and voice his support for the finalists of William's Earthshot Prize. Furthermore, the royal family does indeed support veterans, and they appreciate everything they have done in service to their country. Just because they didn't attend the games doesn't mean they don't appreciate them. What nonsense. Harry's participation in Invictus is only because of his role in the royal family. He's not a working royal anymore. The family doesn't owe him anything. Instead, as a private citizen, he should really do the right thing and he should step down. And just think about if the royal family had attended the games, Harry and Meghan would have accused them of trying to steal their thunder, wouldn't they? So why does anybody think they should have attended? Now, Charles right now is in Scotland, and he supported the Highland Gathering, just like his mother did for years. Considering that he is the Prince of Wales, William had supported the Welsh, and Catherine supported the English team. So what teams is Harry supporting in the UK? The only one I've heard of is a US-based football team. Now, Invictus Games is supposed to be Harry's baby. Now, I still don't understand why Meghan couldn't even show up on time, but that's a separate issue. Without a doubt, the Invictus Games is a worthy charity. So really, that makes it even more unfortunate that, as predicted after the events of the last games, Meghan turned the games into her little show. Everything they do is just for the cameras. It's all just a big show. Meghan showed up late because that way it was easier for her to be the center of attention. And you only need to take a look at what's going on to know that from Meghan's point of view, this is just one big PR opportunity. Those veterans, though, they deserve better. And as much as we're being told they love Meghan and Harry, I don't believe it for a second. I don't think they appreciate their involvement in the least, especially Meghan. I mean, what kind of veteran would want her there stealing all their thunder? Just wait until the closing ceremony. You know Meghan's going to be right there front and center, in spite of the fact that she was apparently taken off the roster. And it's wrong that Harry has allowed the games to become the Meghan show. I mean, all that grinning, all that posing, it's all for Netflix. And both of them know that Netflix could easily pull the plug on their deal at any point in time, so they're trying to make them happy at the cost of the veterans. I'm really disappointed that this is the kind of press that Meghan and Harry are choosing to release about the games. They could have done something really interesting. They could have done, for example, a story about a day in the life of some of those veterans. It would have been incredibly inspirational, and it would really fit in well with the whole Netflix thing, which I didn't watch, but it might help to sell it a little more. But instead, we get this garbage trying to make the royal family look bad. And how do these brave veterans really feel about Harry's open criticism of not only his father, who currently serves as both the leader of the armed forces and commander-in-chief, but also his late grandmother, who was head of the armed forces and colonel-in-chief of 16 British Army regiments and corps, and many other Commonwealth units too? Well, it shouldn't come as any surprise that many people agree with our sentiments here, so I'm going to share with you a little bit of what other people are saying. So one fan called Hunter said, "I think this is a PR exercise from the Sussex camp, was a private run event in which Harry took on board because he is a veteran for veterans. Nothing to do with the royal family really as a charity or an event. Veteran myself, don't want every event hijacked by folks who will get more coverage than the actual participants. Leave it be." Mr. Hunter went on to say that the royal family always attended the Highland Games for as long as I can remember, a long time. They are a tradition from when the Queen was a child every year as part of the holiday. King Charles is a traditionalist and will want to continue it for all the memories, I would imagine. And then another fan named Joe weighed in, saying, "This is a private organization. I believe the royal family would have to be invited, and with Harry and the wife there, that would not happen because neither of them would want any of the senior royals to steal their thunder. It seems people are also forgetting that the then Duke and Duchess of Cambridge's Royal Foundation donated $1.11 million to Invictus after Megxit. The Royal Foundation, along with the donation by the government from the LIBOR, also helped provide initial funding. The royal family isn't petty, they simply don't go where they haven't been invited. If they were petty, they wouldn't be quietly donating funds. They were outed by media, but would trumpet it everywhere." And the next fan added, "The Invictus Games has nothing to do with the royal family, and just because Harry has decided to use the games to promote himself and his wife doesn't mean that our king has any obligations whatsoever. If the TV companies can't be bothered showing these games, and the media only show articles featuring Harry and Meghan, why should the other royals be interested? Not one article about the actual athletes, the games themselves, or the winners." Finally, these games have lost the real meaning of what they were about and who they were about. The games now are all about Meghan, let's be honest. Maybe they should now change the name of the games to the Meghan and Harry Games. Or better still, remove both of them, get new people to run the games, make the games like it was before Meghan Markle took over, and maybe we will see it again on TV. Wishful thinking. And you, what do you think about this news? Please tell me your opinion below in the comments. And if you think my videos are useful, don't be afraid to like and share them with your friends and relatives who would enjoy them too. And don't be afraid to click the subscribe button to get more updates in the future. Thank you so much for tuning in, have a lovely weekend, and we'll be back to see you all tomorrow.